I did it, guys. After the last video, figuring out that Dagger Assassin was really good in PvP, I went all out and I built it as good as I possibly could. This build has absolutely insane damage. I'm talking one shot from stealth and they're dead damage. It is so much fun to play. It is a weirdly easy build to play. Because you hit so hard from stealth, it's very easy to get kills on, and basically all you need to do is get away, re-stealth, and then rinse and repeat. So I am very excited to share with you guys my Dagger Assassin build. This is the best assassin build in the game, hands down. There is a breakdown of the build at the end of this video, and without further ado, let's get started on that PvP commentary. So hanging out in OPR here, the gist of this is basically we stealth up and we walk towards the enemy group, we try to get in behind, and we look for targets to pick off. There's some beautiful kill with the rapier there. Oh my god, we just feed him the poke into the flourish and finish. And after a little bit of hesitation, I decide to go for the kill on this guy here, and look at the damage. That is rogue flesh on the rapier. That was like over 10k damage from the flesh alone between those two hits. Oh my god, this build hits hard with the daggers, yes, but it also hits really fucking hard with the rapier. It's a lot of fun, and I love this here. He thinks we're gone. Oh no, what a mistake. One shot from stealth, down he goes. And then a little bit of a skip as I continue to move around the battlefield just looking for targets. I get behind this guy and I end up missing my combo, but we stick on him with the rapier since there's no one else around. I get the last few hits with the dagger, and that was very risky. With this build, we're very squishy. If we fail the gank, honestly, the best thing we can do is run away and re-stealth up. We did still manage to get the kill, but again, you know, that could have gone really poorly really quickly if we got clipped by a stun or anything. Oh my god, that poor guy. He just walks right into the heavy attack. We hit him with the ambush, down he goes. And yeah, this build here, if you catch anybody that isn't at full health, they're pretty much dead. This hits way too hard for people to be walking around at 50% HP. Let's put it that way. Then I re-stealth up, I get inside here, I try to open with the combo on this guy, I end up only landing the end of it, but then I again stick on him with the dagger, we get him with the flourish and finish and take him down, and then as soon as I take him down, I just retreat. This guy decides not to follow. The one nice thing about this build is that people tend not to follow. Oh my god, that poor guy from 100% health, he just gets wrecked. But people tend not to follow me because I think they think I'm going to burst them down. But it's like, nah, dude, I just used my combo. It's on cooldown. I have to go hide and wait for it to come back. So I'm very happy that people are afraid when they see the damage and they decide not to chase during the moments where they probably should have chased me. But anyway, we stealth up, we come back inside here, huge damage on this archer, and we just wait out the riposte for a half second, hit him with the flesh, and down he goes. And then again, once we pick up that kill, I just head back to the side here. We're going to re-stealth and we're going to re-engage. And then this guy's hiding in the corner. Oh no, dude, you can't do that. You absolutely cannot. I looked at the damage numbers on that combo. That was like an 18k from stealth gank on that guy. Oh my god, this build hits so fucking hard. And again, we just wait, we stealth up, and we wait for opponents to come in here. It looks like a lower health musket player. Oh no, he gets hit by the combo. Down he goes. I didn't hit him super hard. He did have his ultimate up there, but that's not going to be enough damage or durability, I guess, to save him. And then we did have the spin at the end, so he didn't even survive the full combo there. And then this guy actually finds me as I go to hide, so I'm forced to defend myself here. I try to hit him with the gank right in his face there. He ends up rolling away from it. And then again, see, they're scared of the damage. He runs away and he goes off on to do his own thing. So he allows me to stealth up, and I just get to re-engage here with, looks like this healer, and he's just holding block. I sneak up behind him. There's the ambush into the spin. Unfortunately, I missed the heavy attack, but that's okay. And my game crashes. Oh, we love those game crashes. Now, lots of dagger ganks in this video so far, but I did want to show off a little bit of the rapier gameplay because you will get caught out of stealth with this build, and you will have to defend yourself at times out of stealth. And a build like this hitting so hard, your best defense oftentimes is to throw a combo into your opponent and just hope that it lands, because if it does, it's usually enough damage to kill somebody. This rapier hits crazy fucking hard, especially with the flesh. There's a 6.2k flesh on that guy. Oh my god. But the big reason that I chose rapier for this build is because the dagger combo is actually not a stationary combo because it ends on the gap closer. We want to have our next weapon we swap to have a gap closer to get back in there with. So something like spear, once we use the spin, we have to use something on the spear in order to get closer. And I just felt like the rapier was not only easier to close that distance, but it was also a very fast weapon. So if we can catch anybody just for a split second with it, we can kill them with it. Now, the spear is also a good option for a back bar because you can use that hard stun from it and lock people in the stun combos. I also like hatchet for the back bar because it gives you a really good defensive option for the back bar, especially with the undeath perk. So you have a lot of options on the off weapon that you want to use. It doesn't have to be rapier like I like here. You guys know me. I just love playing rapier. So for me, naturally, this was the off weapon of choice. And I feel like it fits really well with how this build plays. I don't think going for heavy CC is what this build needs. I think that its damage is so high, you just want to land those combos, and rapier does it good. So yeah, we do actually have a bit of a stagger combo with the rapier. If you just go for the flourish and not the finish, and then follow that up with the flesh right away, that does much more damage than the flourish and finish does, and you lock them in the stagger for that combo. Anyway, let's take a look at the build here, guys. Starting off with the attribute points, this is a full glass cannon build. You can go up to 100 con if you want, take those points out of dexterity if you choose to. Otherwise, go full glass cannon. I think the build plays best as a full glass cannon, so I would recommend keeping it there. It's up to the user. You can play around with it and see how it performs for you if you go a little bit more durability. For the rapier side of things, this is the rapier tree that I'm using. Again, we've got that kind of stagger combo. We use the flourish, and then we right away follow it up with the flesh, and we don't go for the finish on it. The rapier is also really nice for defending. When we're outside of stealth, we're basically a rapier fighter, so we need to make sure that we have a good rapier tree for that. The dagger side of things, we have completely rebuilt it. There's a lot of broken passives in the dagger tree, and that's why I built it this way. For example, the extra Assassin's Knee does not give you the bonus damage, so we get a lot more bonus damage by going for the Venom Bleed, as well as the Venomous Advantage, giving us 10% damage against anything affected by the Venom. So we're not missing out on all of the damage from that passive, which is really good. And then the bleed dots themselves are adding a lot of additional damage. This might actually be hitting as hard as the passive if it was working properly. So that's the way I built the dagger tree. I would recommend you guys build it that way because that is the best damage you're going to get. On the dagger, we've got to have Slippery Maneuver. We've got to have Bushwhacked. Those are two damage increasing perks that are must-haves. Punishing Rally is really nice. You could also go for the Malachite there to deal increased damage to an opponent that is affected by a CC. It's just 1% less damage. And then for the finisher, I have gone with Rogue Flesh and Thrust Harnessing. Rogue Flesh, like I said, is hitting so crazy hard right now. It's giving you the damage bonus even when you're not backstabbing sometimes. I'm not sure how it works or why it works that way, but it is. So there we go. And then taking a look at the gear, we've got a lot of focus on offensive perks. I have got 2 Rogue, 2 Vicious. I have got fully Empower capped slash and thrust damage on this build. Ideally, we would have full Vicious instead of the 2 Rogue as well, but that's just a little bit of a, I have the perks that I have and I have the gear slots that I have, so I just worked with what I could. I've also got the Enraged Gloves on. The Enraged Gloves are really nice because of that heavy attack bonus damage it gives. That's more for the out of stealth fighting than the stealth gank itself, unless you can out of stealth fight, stealth up while you have the Enraged stacks, and then you can actually get that heavy attack bonus. Winged Leather Shoes. These are the best artifact for this build. I tried Creed Boots and they really sucked. I didn't get good numbers on them. Maybe if you guys can test them and get better numbers, let me know. But the Winged Leather Shoes were definitely the way to go. And then for the jewelry, you can see we've got a lot of focus again on that slash and thrust damage. I've got omnidirectional evade, and that's going to bring the rapier up to that 50% empower cap as well. And then I love this ring. Lots of slash, lots of thrust damage. Last thing I want to mention here is Shirking Heals is not the way to go on this build. Go for Alchemist Reprieve for the potion healing. It's better. You get more out of it with such a low hit point value. Honestly, even on other builds, I think Alchemist Reprieve is really strong and very underused right now. Anyway, guys, there's the build. Full glass cannon, full dagger ganks. You could also go for the cannon ultimate if you want. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. This one was really fun to play, really fun to build. Have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you next time.